It's late afternoon on a summer's day as Tatiana and Leanna paddle through the open water at Circle Square Ranch Camp near Manuel's, Newfoundland. At first glance, they may seem like any of the other girls who've arrived for a week of fun. In fact, Tatiana and Leanna have come from far more distant shores.
Everything different here. Like in Belarus, we have different trees or something. Yeah.
Different house.
Everything different.
Everything, including circumstances that brought them across an ocean to be here. On April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear station exploded. It released more radiation than 80 nuclear bombs into the air, water, and land. It took 2 weeks to put out the fire and months to contain the contamination. Although the accident took place in the Ukraine, 70% of the fallout dropped on nearby Belarus, where Tatiana and Leanna live. Even though it occurred before the girls were born, the Chernobyl disaster has had devastating consequences where they live. The health and welfare of the Belarusians are still affected. These ongoing problems spawned the Canadian Relief Fund for Chernobyl victims in Belarus. Since 1991, Canadians have welcomed these children into their homes for a few weeks each summer.
We thought, well, that's something we could do. We have a big home, and why not, give it a try? And so we made the call and haven't looked back. It's been fabulous.
For the past 6 years, Vladin Hashka has joined the Hayward family each summer. He was 8 years old when he first visited, though some children start when they're as old as 12. They continue until they're 16. That first trip is usually the hardest.
He was so shy and quiet, and he confesses now that he was very scared. He was, very scared to come. He was only 8. He just had this little tiny backpack on his back, and he only came with the clothes he was wearing, and he didn't know where he was other than Canada.
Leanna and Tatiana also had to make the adjustment when they first came 6 years ago. Both girls are 14 now, but they still remember what it was like to be so far from home.
First year it was I every day crying, but now I love here.
I never cry. I don't know why. Because I have fun here.
That's because many visits include going to summer camp, a tradition that started before Beverly got involved.
They had such a great experience that we've asked every year if the kids could come back, and Circle Square has been fabulous to donate the time for them to be able to come, and the kids so enjoy it.
We love camp, yeah. We like stay in Belarus and talk about camp with her, yeah. Because we love this camp.
Oh wow, yeah. Excellent.
Wallace Tremblett has watched the girls grow up. He's been directing the camp at Manuel's since 2001.
Well, I was just saying to Tatiana this morning that when she came first, she's really small.
Small and hardly able to speak English.
Stop, look, and can anyone guess? Listen.
That's come along, but it took some time. It's just another part of that tough start.
Even though they learn English in school, like we learn basic French, numbers, colors, animals, those kind of things. It was like playing charades for 6 weeks.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're all going to brush our horse now, okay?
Okay.
First when they came here, they weren't really sure of how they were going to fit in or how it was going to work. But it didn't take them long before they realized that it works. And all the kids are the same. I mean, the kids are kids.
Rebecca Bizanson is camp counselor for the girls this week. She's excited her best friends from Belarus have returned.
Here they have a lot of fun. They love the games. They're learning a lot, and they're just enjoying. And they're also just engaging with other Canadians. And whenever they talk English, well, we're like, yay! We're happy because we like their accent.
What do you like about coming to camp here? What's the fun part?
Swimming and horse.
Swimming and horse and как что? Стрелы. I forgot.
And
What's that?
archery. Yeah.
2 hard horse.
Most of the campers that come to Circle Square Ranch Camp seem to enjoy it for the same reasons. But for the children of Chernobyl, there's an added benefit. Every week that they spend away from home actually helps their health. The Chernobyl cleanup was a gigantic task, taking 800,000 people 3 years to complete. Thousands of them died prematurely as a result, and many of those that remain are sick. Even today, 500,000 people live on contaminated soil.
The economy has bottomed out so much because of the Chernobyl accident that the dollar doesn't go very far. They're forced to grow their vegetables in contaminated soil, and they're only allowed to bring home so much milk from the grocery store.
Rates of thyroid cancer are 80 times higher in the girls' native land. Birth defects and infant mortality are also more common, as are many other sicknesses. That's why the healthy food and environment the children enjoy in Canada brings benefits that last a lifetime. It's something Tremblay has seen again and again.
They look a lot healthier and a lot more happier, so they're doing really well.
How do your parents back in Belarus feel about you coming here?
Great, they miss us, and like my little sister, she misses me a lot, and I call her every week in Sunday, and she talks with me, but she said she misses me and she waits me. Yeah.
My family too. Как скучать. They miss me too. Yeah.
One story they'll have to share is how this kitchen volunteer had to sing a song full of cake in her mouth just to get a letter sent to her at camp. Camp presents not just an opportunity to grow physically and socially, it's also an opportunity to grow spiritually.
We sort of take them at their pace, with their understanding, but it was hard because it was a slow process and helping them to understand who God was and how much God loved them and the fact that God really, really loved them.
But it seems Tatiana and Liana embraced the challenge.
Did you come to believe in God through being at this camp?
Yes.
Yeah. The other night, Tanya, she prayed for us, and she prayed in Russian, 3 prayers. So that was a fun experience for us.
As fun as it's been for the Chernobyl girls, this time can't last forever. At week's end, the campers have to say goodbye to this special place and the friends they made here.
Last year, Friday night, they cried coming, like, seeing this last campfire. They cried, and I cried because I got to know them so well.
Are you able to come back to Canada next year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
And you want to come to camp too next year?
Yeah, maybe like a staff, because we're 15 next year. Yeah.
It'll be exciting.
And maybe my family and her family coming to Belarus visit.
Next
Maybe
year.
next year.
The Chernobyl explosion that so devastated its land and people still echoes. But there is a happier side to its legacy. After 20 years, the radiation is dying down, but the friendships it spawned are still beginning and growing. At Manuel's Circle Square Ranch Camp, Lee Harding, 100 Huntley Street.
What precious young girls, and they've been going to the ranch there for a while, and we've been able to sponsor them to go so that they can have a special haven in the summertime.
And we want to thank Lee Harding, our special reporter, for that piece. He did a great job. Thank you, Lee. That was great.